Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Skywalker OG coming at you with another Rise of Kingdoms video. Today we are going to be talking about Aethelflaed. Now, I have used Aethelflaed a lot in this KVK. The talents that I'm using for her are these for Mixture of Troops. Whenever I needed her for Mixture of Troops, that's mainly what I used her for, was Mixed Troops, for the fact that I was running low on troops. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into Aethelflaed. We're going to show some reports and have a little chat here about this primary skill. So this is why I did not have my I didn't put out this video sooner, because I wanted to gather more information on this primary skill. Obviously, it looks pretty simple. However, I was having some bugs, I guess you would say, in my reports, to where it was showing that Aethelflaed's primary skill carried over the reductions, the defense reduction and health reduction, onto my Sun Tzu's primary skill. Now, that's awesome. That's how I thought Aethelflaed worked until I talked to Ronnie and we just started talking about Herman and El Cid. Herman's skill is 2 seconds, but it doesn't overlap El Cid's of Herman's primary. Even though my report was reading that way, it doesn't work that way. It wasn't just Ronnie that I talked to. I sent some of my reports into the in-game support, and apparently it's not supposed to work that way. I don't know, and they weren't able to give me an answer of if the reports were correct or not. However, her primary carrying over on top of my Sun Tzu's damage was not correct. It does not do that. So this 2 seconds is not long enough to carry over onto your secondary commander's damage. So she does not need to be primary for this skill to be very effective, because it doesn't matter if she's primary or secondary. It won't carry over into the secondary commander skill, apparently. That is very sad. I don't like that. However, that's how it is supposedly working. So with that said, pairings for her, I would definitely, unless you're using Barca or Joan of Arc, then you could pair her as primary. But if you're using a Sun Tzu, a Pelagius, or anything with one specific troop type, you definitely want to have that commander as the primary and Aethelflaed as the secondary. Now, let's go ahead and talk about her. Aethelflaed. She only has a direct damage factor of 800. She does a 30% attack, defense, and health reduction, which is pretty nice, Like I said, I wish it would last for 3 or 4 seconds, so it would overlap, and so it's supposed to overlap into your secondary commander skill. That would be amazingly nice. I would really love that for her. It wouldn't be too OP. Sorry about that. It wouldn't be too OP. It would be something that they could definitely work in. I would really like that. But it is not that way right now. So using her as primary is not very beneficial. You could definitely throw her in a secondary as a better option. Her secondary skill is not too amazing until you add in the fact that when she's expertise, she gets a 20% damage to enemies who have been slowed. Okay, so let's dive into the second skill. The counterattack damage reduction is for 20%. That's nice if you're fighting infantry, but there's not too many other counterattack damage commanders besides infantry. And let's just say it. I mean, we don't try to fight infantry with cabs anyways. So there we go. Now, she gives a cavalry march speed reduction to the enemy as 50%, and any other unit is 30%. Now this is really nice because it's a 3-second effect. You'll only have 6 or 7 seconds between that when you're not popping this skill. So with that said, I mean, for 3 seconds you're slowing them down. Are they really going to get away from you before you have that 6-7 seconds to pop another skill? I don't think so. I think that Aethelflaed is definitely a commander that can lock down somebody and slow them down in that regards. So she's definitely good for that with that second skill. Her third skill is pretty much a barbarian skill. It just does 35% more damage to barbarians, and you gain 35% more experience. It's pretty nice, but nothing spectacular. Alright, this one is a tricky one because of the fact she gets a, once she's max, she gets a 10% rallied army capacity bonus, and all 3 units types get a 20% damage bonus if she has 3 different types of troops in there. The 20% damage bonus isn't too amazing, because mixture of troops really isn't that great. But if you have to send a rally and use mixture of troops, that is pretty nice, especially if she's backing up Barca or if Barca's backing her up. That is actually pretty nice. But with that said, it's not too amazing. What we want to look at is this troop capacity. When this commander leads a rally attack, all armies joining the rally have an 8% higher troop limit. Whenever she's up one more skill level, it'll be 10%. Now, if we have 200,000 troops, it's 220,000 troops. Now we can break the rally halfway down or before we hit whatever have you, and every other player has that extra 10% march inside of their march still. So this is a very, very, very good commander if you want to set her out with one troop or whatever, just set up the rally and be able to put down a massive amount of troops into one area at a time. She is definitely the woman that you would want to do that with. Yeah, I mean that's actually a really cool little trick you can do with her, and that'll keep you having extra troops on the battlefield. So that's something that her force skill brings to the table. Other than that, it's not too impressive. And like I said, her expertise is 20% damage to enemies when they are slowed. So that is nice. That wraps into her second skill very nicely. And her primary is only 800 damage. So as a free-to-play commander, because she is, we can get her completely free to play just by doing the expedition. I would say she is a very good commander. Now, for pay to win, or if you own better commanders like I do here with my Richard, my Charles, my Moto, my Sao Sao, just about every other commander, she's not needed. She's not needed. Leveling her up like I did here is definitely not needed. She's not going to be a primary for a lot of things unless they change this primary skill, which I don't see them doing anytime soon. So leveling her up is not needed. Skilling her up, it's nice. I mean, she's a good overall commander. She could definitely bring some value to your team, especially if you need to use mixture of troops. If you need to use mixture of troops, she is a very good leading commander, and I will show you some reports where my T4 are fighting T5. It's mainly T4 versus T5 in a lot of these reports, so keep that in mind, guys. And yeah, pairings for her. Literally anybody can pair with her. Seriously, except for your farmers. Obviously, you don't want to throw farmers in there, but just about anybody can pair with her. You want to throw her Belisarius, you want to throw her Plagius, anybody. I'm telling you, anybody can pair with her. Now, if you're asking me her best pairings, in my personal opinion, that would be Barca or Joan, and she excels as a buffing debuffing march. Now, if you want to use her open field, which I did, and like I said, I will show you guys reports of it, I would say YSG or Sun Tzu. Either one of them leading her around is pretty flippin' nice. With that said, those are the commanders I would recommend. Those are the top 4: Joan of Arc, Barca, YSG, or Sun Tzu. Those are my top 4. I'm not saying that they are the best. I'm saying that me personally, in my personal opinion, I believe they would definitely work the best together. Okay? Let's make sure we get that corrected, because I don't want you going out with a 1-1-1 whatever Aethelflaed and losing and saying that, oh, this guy said he's the best. No, I mean, you have to have the right talents, you have to have the right setup, you have to have the right skills, you have to have, it's different situations, guys, calls for different commanders and pairings. So keep that in mind. Anyways, so let's go ahead and jump right into these reports. Let's check out a thing or two. Yeah, I mean, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's exit out of here. Hit yes. Exit out of BlueStacks. Make this up, and here we go. We are into the reports. So obviously, I'm scrolling through trying to find my reports. This is my Aethelflaed versus Armenia's rally. At the time, me and Icyox and maybe 2 or 3 other guys were trying to defend this flag, and we weren't doing too great because we had Armenia and Talib rallying this thing with full T5 rallies, and it wasn't working out for us, so I started using my Aethelflaed in there to intercept those rallies and try to take them down a lot faster. This is my Aethelflaed versus Chiskel's T5. Chiskel caught my Aethelflaed out and surrounded her, which was a very good catch by him. Kudos, Chiz, for that. You definitely need to watch Aethelflaed, especially when you're using her like I am here. This is mixture of troops because I was running out of troops at the time, so it was mixture of troops. Aethelflaed is very, very, very slow, especially when you have mixture of troops in her march. So make sure you watch her and keep a tank around her or supporting marches so she doesn't just get eaten up. This is Aethelflaed and Joan together versus some T4. Did pretty well. Like I said, she's good. Aethelflaed and Joan as a debuffer buffing march. I wouldn't use it for open field unless you have a massive group of marches with you going into a direction. Then definitely, I would use them definitely for sure. Here's my Aethelflaed Sun Tzu on Shifty's T5, on Grundy's T5, on Hercules T. They swarmed me down and they didn't focus my Aethelflaed. My Aethelflaed Sun Tzu just stood beside them while they were focusing, actually, believe it or not, my Richard Charles, and Aethelflaed Sun Tzu just started doing and putting in work. I mean, my Minamoto, and Salsa did a lot more damage, obviously, but they definitely focused the wrong target, and Aethelflaed Sun Tzu got to shine there and just drop massive AoE on everybody. It was beautiful. This guy tried to catch my Aethelflaed coming back to the city by herself, and he didn't like the results. I don't know why he chose to hit a march that had 310,000 troops in it, but he did, and yeah, as you see the reports, it didn't really pay off for him too well. But yeah, I mean, is she a good commander? Yes. Is she amazing? No. Would I use her for 1v1s? No. Would I use her open field? Definitely. Especially if you're running low on troops and you need to use a mixture of troops march. Aethelflaed is very useful for that. And like I said, to intercept and try to counter down a rally, she is very, very useful and very, very good at that. We did that a lot with her. Sadly, we have a lot. Like I said, I used Aethelflaed on every single time I sent out marches. Aethelflaed was in one of the groups, so I had a ton of Aethelflaed reports to show you guys. Sadly, we all know you can only hold 99 reports, and then the rest of them get deleted, so we weren't able to access them. That stinks. That sucks. But it is what it is. This is against Loki G's T5, and I was using Pelagius and full caps. I should have used Pelagius primary, but yeah. Anyways, I think I've showed you guys all the reports at this time. I believe I've talked about Aethelflaed enough. You guys know how she works. You know now that her primary isn't really carrying over to the secondary commander, which stinks, in my opinion. That is awesome. I mean, that is awful. But it is what it is. Unless we can get a little changes, it ain't changing. So, yeah. So later, guys. This is your boy Skywalker OG saying, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you like to pair Aethelflaed. Let me know how I am doing in these series of these in-depths on these commanders. I try to give more detail with reports this time on Aethelflaed. Maybe it'll help out. Maybe y'all like it. Maybe not. Comment time. It's your boy Skywalker OG saying have a wonderful week and have an amazing time. What is left of it in your KVK. Ours is coming to an end. Sad face. All the high level barbarians and forts are going to be gone. Very, very sad. Anyways, guys, it's your boy Skywalker OG saying peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.